distinguished stockbrokers. It's been a long day. We're very excited to be here. We're primarily a microfinance bank. We've been around for about 4.5 years. We're based in Abuja primarily, but we have operations in about 6 other states by some relationships that we have. Our primary purpose of getting listed, among other things, is to seek for additional working capital. We're trying to get a national license. Our past 4 years have been very good for us. We think we have very strong fundamentals. We think we have strong potential. We see a lot of possibility available in the market in terms of the need compared to what we're able to do. So we're hoping that down the road we'll unveil a program to seek additional capital. Like I said, we're very happy to be here. We're looking for your support so that we can be able to do what we think we do best better. Thank you. Thank you very much.
It is a great pleasure to welcome our esteemed guests, the board and management of Fortis Microfinance Bank, to this special event in the history of their company. It is worthy to note that Fortis Microfinance Bank is the first microfinance bank to be listed this year. And as you know, we have 199 companies, so they actually make it 200. It is the second microfinance bank out of over 600 licensed by the CBN to list on the Nigerian Stock Exchange. The first being NPF Microfinance Bank that listed on the 1st of December 2010 with 2.3 billion ordinary shares of 50 kobo each at 1 naira 50 kobo per share. The listing added 3.43 billion naira to the market capitalization of the exchange. We are quite glad to report that the other microfinance bank listed on the exchange has consistently paid dividends on a yearly basis, and despite the tough economic circumstances and the equally tough banking sector in which they are listed, they have continued to outperform some established commercial banks. We are quite optimistic that Fortis Microfinance Bank will also do very well in the Nigerian capital markets. We already saw the signs today when we had about 8 minutes of trading, and they were able to put up 5.6 million shares on the tape, worth about 28 million naira, while the value remained at 5 naira per share. It is no mean feat that Fortis Microfinance Bank has taken a strategic step to join the prestigious club of quoted companies in Nigeria. And I once again commend them for this bold step. I will use this opportunity to call on other microfinance banks who are undecided on whether to list their shares on the Nigerian Stock Exchange to make up their minds, as there are significant benefits to be derived from being a listed company. Some of the difficulties microfinance banks currently face include lack of adequate skill set by operators for effective service delivery, lack of proper corporate governance and management structure, inefficient internal controls and poor credit administration, and lack of adequate capital base leading to insufficient loanable funds. To this end, the Nigerian Stock Exchange GM Listing Sales and Retention presented a paper at this year's AGM of the National Association of Microfinance Banks and called on the banks to consider listing on the exchange, as the rigors of listing will address the various shortcomings mentioned. We expect to see an increase in the number of microfinance banks listing on the exchange following CBN's capitalization requirements for nationwide coverage. Today, the Nigerian Stock Exchange is listing by introduction 1.63 billion ordinary shares of 50 kobo each of Fortis Microfinance Bank at 5 naira per share. The listing today will add 8.15 billion naira to the market capitalization of the exchange. It will also increase the visibility of the microfinance bank and differentiate it as one with high corporate governance standards, having met the NSE's listing criteria. I congratulate the chairman of Fortis Microfinance Bank, Mr. Chiberi, and the managing director and CEO, Mr. Kunle, Oketikun, and other members of the board and members of staff that have come here today for this ceremony. And also, we congratulate you for making a decision to list at this auspicious time when all hands must be on deck to reposition our market. I implore the bank to adhere strictly to all post-listings requirements of the Nigerian Stock Exchange and also use this occasion to urge all stakeholders in our market to continue to do their part to further facilitate the growth of the Nigerian economy. Thank you very much.
Will your shares be more of retail investors as well?
Yes, but for the hybrid products that we have, the secondary offering of our equity and the bond, we're actually targeting institutional investors, particularly the PFAs. Okay, the pension fund, that's what our primary focus is. Of course, we're going to be available to retail investors as well, but our primary focus is institutional investors.
What's the assurance you'll be given on the bonds that you're trying to get involved in? Because the retail aspect.
Actually, our getting listed is a direct response to our discussions with the PFAs, who had insisted, who has given us their criteria for investment. So this is just one of the things that we have to do. So we have reasonable assurances from a couple of them, and we're hoping that the others haven't got listed will definitely invest. It makes a lot of sense. Like I said, microfinance is a growing sector. It is extremely profitable. In Nigeria, what we've seen over the past 4.5 years is that having gotten the strategy right in terms of methodology, the rate of default is minimal, in fact very close now to what we used to read about and we thought was impossible. When you heard about Grammy, when you hear about all the other microfinance banks in the world, you probably think some of those things were not possible, but now we're seeing it. We have some of our locations where there is even no default, no single day default in terms of payment of installments, and so we think it's down to methodology, and we think we have the methodology correctly now. We're only limited by the amount of resources, and that's why we're coming to the market so that we can raise first the 2 billion and then the 5 billion, making a total of 7 billion that we're trying to raise.